Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for the Upsurge Rainbow Six Premier League. Tonight casting will be none other than the Kingsman and myself, Colin Seymour Moore, and joining me is Daniel the Saved One Mena. Today, our first game is going to be Team Amnesty Gaming going up against Team Aviate, and I'm expecting it to be a huge underdog story resulting from the last week games because it was kind of one-sided for a couple teams. So, Daniel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. That's actually, it's a little bit of a meme between me and you. Daniel,
Yeah.
how are you doing tonight? So there, right when you wrote it down, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
We haven't casted with each other on Upsurge for a minute.
We haven't casted with each other for a minute. I think last week we casted for the first time with each other.
And then I got sick.
Yeah, and then we went to the Six Invitational, and then a few people got sick.
I was one of them.
One thing led to the other, and
I was one of them.
here we are now. So we're all better now, and we're ready to cast some Rainbow Six.
We are, and I think that we need to introduce these two teams. You already kind of did it. It's going to be Amnesty versus Aviate.
Yeah, Team Aviate though. A little bit of an underdog coming into this one.
A little bit. You were referencing that in your intro.
Yeah, because well, last week they lost 7-0 to Zenith Esports.
No.
Which is not something that is a little bit to look into because it is week 1.
Yeah.
But it's also a little bit of a downer if you're the team. I expect them to do better in this game because you want to have that kind of morale boost right away. You don't want your season to be decided on that week 1 loss.
Well, the one thing that I'm kind of starting to learn a lot more about team practices is kind of from you.
Yeah.
Because you're part of our Overwatch team, so I'm starting to realize how much work these teams actually do put in to practices. So when you come into a set, you guys are trying to, get anxiety out the window, right? You're trying to get all your nerves just rattled out, right? Week 1, it can be kind of high, and maybe that's exactly what Aviate did last week, right? They came into it, and they just could not shake off the anxiety, and maybe they can redeem themselves this week, but this will be massive if they actually can.
Well, yeah, it's massive, and Team Amnesty Gaming, they're not off the hook either. Last week they played against FMG, and they only won 7-5, so it was a close game. They're not really off the hook. It's tight, and you did come out with the win. You didn't have to go 6-6. You didn't have to go into overtime.
Yeah,
but that's as close. That's almost as close as overtime.
I feel like you learn a lot more in a 7-5 victory though than you do in a 7-0 stomp because you learn a lot during that. How to bounce back from a loss is one thing that you majorly learn. How to actually close out a game that's actually pretty close is another thing that you end up learning as a squad. Communication is massive in a setting like that. So we got to watch out to see if this team can actually come out on top.
Yeah,
again.
Exactly my thoughts, Daniel. So right now we're gonna head in, and I think the first map of the day that we'll be seeing will be Bank.
Yeah.
Right there, Amnesty, they don't want to play on Cafe, Border, or Villa.
No.
And Aviate, they don't want to play Clubhouse, Coastline, and Consulates. That just leaves Bank left.
Exactly. We're talking about these bans just a little bit more, though. Amnesty. We've been seeing Border at least banned and picked even a lot more as almost kind of like that cheese map since it's a little bit more newer. Or it's even a map that a lot of teams aren't really comfortable on. So Border is obviously banned, a lot of the times. But when it is picked, it's almost kind of like that cheese pick. A lot of these teams could actually gain a little bit more of an advantage if they do end up practicing on Border. But it's not going to be picked here in this series. Of course, Cafe, very one-dimensional on how exactly you play it. So a lot of teams just like to take that off the board. Same thing with Villa, is that there's a lot of different little ways to actually enter into the building itself, as well as a lot of ways to defend a lot of these bomb sites. So take that off the board as well. Even talking about Aviate's side, Clubhouse, Coastline, Consulate, those are kind of like the solidified 3 that we usually see a lot in Collegiate as well as over here on Upsurge. So take those off the board. What are you left with? You're left with the newcomer map, which is Bank. And this is one that we've seen a whole lot, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I couldn't have said that any better myself. I know you're probably excited for this.
I'm so excited.
Because it's like your favorite map, isn't it? Banks.
Yeah.
We saw it played a lot over the weekend with the 6 invitation. Well, not too much, but you mostly were stuck to maps like Clubhouse, Border, Consulate, and Coastline.
Yeah.
But those maps are usually like the ones you see. But I really like to pick on Bank because It's a lot one-sided. So if you can get a good hold on the defensive side, I think you don't have to worry about the attack side too much.
Yeah.
If you know the map well enough, and I expect both these teams to kind of be well prepared to play a map like Bank if they're gonna choose to play it. I expected to see really back and forth game today.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And the reason why I like Bank so much is because it was the map I played the most on Newcomer. I'm only really like level I think 59. So I'm like just out of that range. I don't want to sound like a complete noob, but like I'm just out of that newcomer range. So right when I see Bank, I'm like, I know that map.
I know when I used to play Rainbow Six a lot back in year 1, I hated playing Bank.
Really?
It was one of my least favorite maps to play. I think it was year 1. I'm pretty sure that's the default map. I just remember playing it a lot back when I did play it.
It's just as easy.
It's easy to play, but it's also easy to get, in my opinion, shot from weird angles, like through soft walls.
That's true. It's true. We're gonna have to see how both of these teams end up playing on Bank itself. We'll see maybe if Amnesty do want to try and sweep Aviate just like how Zenith did last week, or if Aviate can actually come back and maybe do a little bit more damage here in this week. But other than that, I think that we got to talk about some of these operators.
Oh, yeah, you're touching on a key thing that's in the Upsurge rules that we don't really see in a whole lot of leagues. So why don't you just give us a little insight on that little key factor?
So we were told that Cali and Wamai unbanned.
Okay,
So they're allowed to be played this week.
and that was a poll thing too, right? They got to vote on that one. So I honestly myself, I looked into what the operators can do and how they're played, and I don't expect them to see played enough. Like, so I know behind the scenes you guys were kind of talking about you might see Wamai get swapped out instead of the Jaeger. I don't think that's a thing at all. I think Jaeger's too important. His ADSs are really key into defending the bomb site, and his speed is so good for roaming. And Wamai might have better guns, but his Jaeger's gun still isn't that bad.
You have to ask the question though, because there's always that just like maybe, but like 1% chance of maybe. You know, it's like, can Wamai be picked over Jaeger? No. Like maybe not really. I don't know. So we're gonna have to watch. Maybe they can be paired together.
Well, yeah, and
on some maps.
They could, and I just, especially on Bank, there's one site that I think Kali could come in handy for, and that's if the defenders are holding upstairs. If they're holding conference room, I think you can set up a Kali on like the top garage. And have sight lines in. If it's castle barricade, Kali could just destroy the castle barricades like it's nothing, and then you have full direct sight lines into the site. You might be able to catch some rotations off, but still, that's an operator that's generally you have to have outside and not really close in close range. And if you're left in a 1v5 as Kali, you might as well just call the round unless you're a one-trick Kali player.
There's some operators in this game that I'm starting to realize that are one-trick operators. Vigil is definitely one of them, I think. Maybe. Not sure. I think, though. I'm starting to...
Vigil?
Yes.
Vigil is...
I thought Vigil, because he's like a roamer.
No, he's kind of meta.
Right?
Vigil's a good operator to play, and I do enjoy every time I see Vigil played.
Me too.
Because one thing that is...
like a whole lot of people play him.
The
roamers do a lot.
I wish I saw more people play him, because that's one key thing in Rainbow Six is the droning. And if you can literally have a player who can avoid droning, that's just insane. That's information taken off the board for the attackers.
The point I was trying to make is that that Kali seems like that type of operator.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on that one.
But anyways, we're dealing with a little bit of a technical error over on the. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
It's caster curse right there. As soon as we say something,
literally, producer says you gotta send a break. Mid sentence, don't send a break. Got it.
No, but Bank. Instead of sending it to break, we're gonna be sending it to Bank in a few seconds, and I can't be more excited to see these two players go, because we've been on the me personally, I know you've been sick, but I've been personally on the collegiate grind for the Rainbow Six casting. It's a lot more one-dimensional than these outside leagues, so I'm really excited to see these two teams play.
It's going to be cool because we're going on to Bank, and it's not going to be a best of 3. It's a best of 1, so these guys only have one chance to make some sort of an impression here in Upsurge. So we got to start this one. Amnesty versus Aviate. We're starting the ban phase right now. Aviate does get the first ban. What do they want to look at here?
I want to see a Jackal get banned because Bank's such a big map that you want to cut off any presence that your roamer might get spotted by the attackers. So first off, like, we see the Thatcher. That's a normal ban that we've been seeing a lot, especially in the collegiate scene. You know, it's just you want to get Thatcher out so that you can avoid having the hard breachers enter bomb sites easy.
Yeah. So
now you're forced to play like a Capitao, you're forced to play a Zofia, you're forced to play like characters that will have to push in or get certain sight lines into seeing the gadgets. So now we see the Jackal get banned, and I did call that one, so I was expecting it. We do see a Jackal. You know, he's really good for when attackers want to push into the map and catch off the roamers. So now your roamers can safely get around and do their job.
Yeah, as well. I think you just said Jackal as well. Cade going to be taken off the board, of course. People usually run the Cade or the Bandit. Sometimes in special occasions they can run both. But Cade going to be taken off here, so definitely Bandit going to be heavily prioritized. Who are they going to ban next over here on defense? We're going to know in just a couple of seconds. It's going to be Valkyrie.
What? Okay, so I was about to say, like, if it's not an Echo or a Mira, like, I'd be surprised. And they pick a Valkyrie instead. Which I can see the Valkyrie coming in handy because of how big Bank is. It's really good to have the extra cameras around to get more information for a defending team. And the Cade instead of the Bandit is happening a lot lately.
Yeah.
Because Cade is really good in electrifying multiple things at once, and his gun is really good for anchoring the site.
Yeah. It's all good though. As we see these two squads now actually line up. Let's introduce these squads really quickly. Amnesty Gaming over on the blue side. We got Squat. He's got me. He got Tech, as well as known Titan Ziggy Ziegler, as well as kind of like it looks like
Royale.
That's what I was thinking. Royal.
Yeah, and over on Team Aviate, we have Ares, Merrick, and other players. We have Ares, Merrick, Kale, Scales, and Scythe Monkey.
Yeah, we got that off. I took a little bit long. That's my bad. But we see all these operators going across the board. Nothing too crazy coming across. What we actually usually do see is Mira and Echo banned. This is exactly why. So they're both being played here. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the first bomb site going to be defended will be the basement bomb sites. And honestly, having an Echo Mira will delay the push from Amnesty Gaming even more, especially because of the Yokai drone being able to cancel out any diffuse plants, any diffusal plants.
I'm also kind of curious that Rook's being played a little bit more.
I think he has the P90 too. I think the Rook has the P90 as well, which I'm a little skeptical about because the P90 over the MP5 it's a little bit it's a little weird of a pick to play. Because, but I know Hyper was telling me last week that it's been happening a little bit more.
Hyper's one of our analysts over here, but it's all good as now we see another little bit of a drone out, going to go towards the garage area. Zofia just going to check out this area with the Monty. When you usually do see a Monty with a squad, he's got to be paired up with someone when he's pushing on a site as well. They have to be really good in synergy, and if they're not, then it can be really bad. If you're just kind of shoving one of your kind of carryable teammates on the Monty, it can never actually work out correctly because Monty takes a certain play style in order to play. But he is going to be holding garage right now, just kind of scouting the area just to see who's going to be around here. A couple of shots going towards that Monty shield.
I see two things when I look at this round right now. I see the delay potential that Team Aviate has, and I just see the Monte on the side of Amnesty Gaming. Ziggy Ziegler going to be the first getting the kill in this map. It's going to be Scythe Monkey first being dropped. That's the Rook right out of play, so the P90 not coming out handy. But like I was saying, the Monty able to kind of Brave away from the delay. He's able to kind of play around that, but they're on the other side of the map. We see Known Titan getting the second pick. So Team Amnesty Gaming going up 2 players already in this round. You're pointing something out. So let's get some more input.
Oh, you see a very quick kill. Mirik ends up getting a really nice kill. Kale as well with the double kill, jumping on over. A couple of more shots going towards her. Not able to pull out the shotgun in time. Or at least not enough damage in time. A little bit of a glitch out going to be happening through that wall.
That's a really weird
well. The Nomad with a really nice drop. Ziggy with the double kill as well. Very quick round to finish this one off. Amnesty. We get to watch a little bit of a replay as well. You can see that we might be calling for a rehost. We're on the EU server.
I was wondering why they're putting question marks in there. So
all right.
So yeah, there's 2 things that came out of that round that I was really impressed with. It's the picks for holding that basement bomb site.
Yeah.
The defender picks, I think, were on point. You know, playing the mirror, playing the echo, and the smoke. The delay was just inseparable from Team Aviate. But picking the Monty is just single-handedly canceling a lot of that delay out. And unless the gas grenade can block him out when he's playing, like when he's getting in there. He can kind of take a lot of, just tank a lot of the yokai shots and a lot of the disruption that it could cause.
The main thing that I was thinking during that whole round, and I even said it, is that the Monty's only going to be useful if he has good synergy with his team. Right? You can't just shove a player onto Monty and hope he does well. He or she, whatever. And you clearly saw the Monty do work there. Called out multiple players on where they were, and it was just immediate responses. I think the player's name was Known. He was on stairs leading into the basement, and he just immediately caught where the Monty was looking at, and it was just so incredibly beautiful to watch, just kind of like the escalate of the round. Was it due to server? I'm not too sure, but we're going to have to just slowly start the rehost there. But still, definitely a really good round just to start off. You know, a little bit of a warm-up round.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure if they're gonna count that first round or if they're gonna restart the whole thing. I could see them restarting because it was an EU hosted server, but because that could lead into a bunch of unknowns that we weren't aware of in the one-on-one gunfights. But Ziggler playing the Nomad, catching out a double kill with their pistol. It was just an insane shot. I know on the player, there's a player roaming on the second floor that she caught out in the back there, and the shots were just on point, and she just took them down like it was nothing.
I think she ended up getting a triple kill by the end of that round.
Oh, yeah?
One was just a knockdown player, and then it ended up grabbing that last kill. Or at least I saw it on the kill feed, just one more kill go over to the Nomad. But still, definitely a really good display of skill, and also to kind of show that this blue team was just crazy on attack. They did not hold back whatsoever, right? They wanted to go right for that point, and they didn't want to hold back. They didn't want to try and set anything up for the first minute. It was just put the Monty inside of garage, scout whatever you can out, and we're just going to go.
Yeah, and it could it potentially be a confidence in looking at the standings? Maybe you see Team Aviate lost week 1 0-7. Maybe that you come into this thinking that you're just gonna push head on. You know, just pick someone who can tank, and then we'll just frag out kills around you.
I don't know if my mental is just super squishy, but my mental would be down if I was Team Aviate. You know, still coming off of a 0-7. The coach can say whatever they want, right? It's just like, yeah. You know, guys, it was a bad week. We can bounce back next week. Like, just don't take this loss too personally. But I would still be like, yo, we lost 0-7.
But at the same time, you know, you've had 2 weeks since week 1, so you've had 2 weeks to prepare and practice. And I expect some strats to come out, some changes in your gameplay, some things to happen. And I want to see Team Aviate kind of have a closer game. I do, in my opinion, if we're gonna go for predictions, I do think Team Amnesty Gaming will come out on top with this, but I expect the underdogs in Team Aviate to make it closer, make it a fight.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, couldn't have said it better myself. Twitch chat, I hope you guys are all holding up okay, because we're going to be heading into a break just for a little bit as we just solve all these technical problems. But don't go anywhere. We got Upsurge R6 action coming back in just a couple minutes. expecting that. I was expecting, drone it out, see the area, wait until 30 seconds, and then do something. Nah, they were like, we're going to wait till 2:30.
Yeah, but it's time for a repeat.
Exactly.
Hopefully it's not a total repeat, but we're going back to lockers, back to CCTV room,
Wow.
and this time I hope Team Aviate will be a little bit more prepared for when Amnesty went in there. I really liked how fast they took that because like you said, usually you have the droning out, usually you take your time to push in, so Team Aviate totally caught off guard by the aggression that Amnesty came out with.
I really did like the Maverick there. It was definitely really good. The Thermite added a little bit of kind of like an option off onto that wall that he ended up breach charging, but it didn't really. It's not breach charge. It's the Thermite charge, but it didn't really, I guess, serve any purpose other than just kind of disrupting the area. So it's really good that they just switch on over to the Hibana. Usually Hibana is picked over the Thermite in a lot of cases. We'll see if it actually ends up working out here, but it all comes down to time. I guess Team Aviate is just saying if it's not broke, don't fix it, but it is broke, and they're not going to fix it. So.
And, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it was broken because they didn't really give it a chance. They weren't set up.
Yeah.
So the operators weren't the fault in that last round. It was their positioning. Their positioning was not ready for the aggression that Amnesty came out with. So I expect it to be a little bit different this time. I was going to touch on that. I thought that they were going to have a couple roamers maybe because they do have Mozzie and Jaeger who have roaming potential. Even the Legion has a little bit of roaming potential. And then I thought they were going to anchor with the smoke and the Echo drone. But this time, all 5 players of Team Aviate are going to be anchored down. Actually, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. There is a player on 3rd floor.
Yeah. It's definitely a cool little approach that Team Amnesty is taking, like you just said, as they're going into the 1st floor and then taking it a little bit more slow instead of just full-on rushing the dirt path. They're going onto 1st floor and then seeing if they can work their way down, which works a little bit better if you do want a little bit more strategy. But they pulled this out before the rehouse where they shoved the Monty into the garage to just scout out the area. Does not see anybody for the time being, though. I'm kind of curious, what's Aviate thinking by taking this bottom floor bomb site? Because it didn't really work out for them round 1. Maybe they think that was just kind of like an off round, and they just want to try and bounce back.
Yeah, and there we see the Montaigne. We see him spotting out the yokai. He was pinging it out, so they do know where the yokai is, and it's putting a lot of pressure down onto the garage. And Mozzie here, Bryce, he's going to be just playing up top, and now he's going to start his flank. He finds a drone, and I don't know if they heard that sound cue. They might have heard that sound cue, but it doesn't look to me like they heard it. This could be a double kill potential.
They ran in.
They both dropped down the hatch. That's big timing for them, but now Bryce getting the first kill. Actually, it's traded out. Known Titan picking up 1, but there we go. Bryce going down. Now they do pick up the roamer. Ziggy Ziggler catching that one off. And now the Nomad with a kill to himself. Maverick going to be pushing into the vault. There is a player there. That's the Echo almost losing his head, but Known Titan dropped to about 2 health, maybe even 1 health. Minute left, and they're just starting this defensive hold. And I think they did drop the diffuser down in garage. Montaigne has gone and picked that back up. The Echo has rotated away from the vaults in the gold room. And they do have 1 player still sitting there. I didn't catch which operator that was. It might be the Legion sitting down in there, laying there. But the player did go up top. Ziggy Ziggler finding another one. That's Merrick going down as well. So that's Echo not able to use the yokai drone. Scythe Monkey finding another one, but it's traded out by Ziggy Ziggler. 1v2 situation. Smoke has all 3 gas grenades, so he can't disrupt this at all. Nomad charge has gone off, and so they know where the smoke is. Ares rotating around for the hatch into vault area, but they know where he is. They know he's upstairs. They know he's not on site. He does have all 3 gas grenades on him, and I don't think that they will come in handy because there's a Montaigne there. He uses his first one, and he puts it where the Montaigne is, and that was a good execution, but better positioning from Amnesty Gaming, and they come out with the round 2 win.
Yeah, even if they don't make the immediate rush onto any of these points like they did in round number 1, they can still play around slowly, and they definitely did that here in round number 2, where they take complete control over that 1st floor. You said that there was 1 on the top floor, just kind of scouting out that area, just in case there was any roamers up there. But definitely you ended up seeing Bryce, and I think you touched on it perfectly, where he ended up killing a drone, and it created enough noise to say, hey, who just kill the drone?
I don't think they heard that drone though.
There was a guy that was close to him. I don't know.
Maybe the guy, because he did end up getting a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, he ended up running.
Which put
yeah.
which put Team Aviate up in the lead for a little bit, and it was a lot closer than round 1.
It was.
So that was a really big improvement for Team Aviate. They are going to go to the second floor Executive Lounge CEO office, which is a different hold indeed. And we got told when we were on break for a little bit that Wamai and Kali are still banned until the into the void thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We were told differently at the start, so
yeah,
we were a little bit curious on why they would be unbanned, but they're not.
It's all good. We know that now. But the one player that I'm looking at is Bryce, because he was the one that was acting very, very aggressive there in round 1. And he's going to be playing the Vigil as well. So he's going to be roaming down to the first floor. I'm also kind of surprised that he ended up just kind of fragging those 2 windows. But just kidding. He's got a castle, so you're good.
That's why I was like, oh, okay. But at the same time, it's a weird place if you're going to put your castles there. I didn't see Castle go around. He still has 1 armor panel, so he hasn't boarded up both of those windows. I don't think they have at all. But it's also a weird place. You expect him to put his castle barricades over towards the open windows facing facing the large main room.
It's usually what you see here on Castle, where you patch up the actual windows instead of some outer ones. But Bryce gonna go for kind of some cheeky shots, not gonna find anyone. Would have been kind of cool if you saw that as well. Twitch gonna be coming through. You see Twitch kind of pop up in the competitive scene sometimes. I saw it maybe once during the R6 Invitational, but we're gonna be seeing it here from Amnesty. Definitely next patch, as she's going to be getting a couple of buffs. But it does take out the bandit drones as well. You see it in Collegiate a little bit for that reason alone, as Twitch going to now scale up the side of the actual plaza. It's going to get a little bit of damage onto the castle. Castle now going to be taken out by Royal. A little bit of a 1-for-1 frag trade, as Royal is still alive, but a really nice kill coming through from Aviate onto Ziggler. And
you did see the Doc use his stim pistol to pick up the down castle, so that's 1 stim shot out of play. And you're touching on the Twitch getting picked in this, and I really like that because Twitch right now has probably the most overpowered gun in the game. On the flank is Bryce. Bryce is going to find Known Titan, and he does go to the second. He finds a second double kill onto Tech, but at the same time, SWAT finding a trade and making it a 2v3. Bryce down to about 10 health. Royal takes out Ares, so it's a 2v2, and it's health advantage to Amnesty. So a little bit of trouble you're in if you're Aviate after losing that player, but Merrick spots out the Montaigne, so they know where the shield is, and the Twitch. That's a dangerous operator still have up, so they have to find the Twitch and get him down first.
They got to watch out for this because Doc still has 2 stim pistols. If they want to use the Vigil in the most effective way, they've got to shoot him with the stim pistols if they want to try and do that here. The Twitch, seeing that this is available, could have been a really nice little down there as well. The Twitch only has the Monty available for herself. So it could be kind of a cool little scenario if they want to try and practice a little bit of synergy. Be nice couple of shots going over towards Janner's closet. As well, the 1v1 going to be going off. The Doc versus the Twitch. It's going to be the Twitch winning at the end of the day with that. Vigil now in a 2v1 scenario. Could build up on his little KDA lead as the Twitch now has a triple kill underneath her belt. Going to be in a 1v1 now. Monty has to trigger when his shield's going to be going down as well. Can he try and disrupt anything that's going to be going on? Royal just says, hey, I'm going to plant a diffuser. Just try and stall this round out as best as possible. Vigil now going to be running towards the janitor's closet. Could the 1v1 be going on? I don't know. He's kind of confused on what he's thinking about right now. Monty just lowers the shield and says, no. You're not going to be entering.
I know it's hard to just give up on the 1v1 on the Montaigne, but I thought he was going to just move over towards the Twitch and start challenging the Twitch because the Twitch was low on health. And they should have had that communication going, hey, just forget about the Montaigne, go for the player holding off the bomb site because you're going to have to force the Montaigne to play a little bit more aggressive instead of passive like he was doing.
Yeah, when he was heading towards Janitor's Closet, I think was the perfect route that he could have taken. I don't know if that side wall was open past Janitor's Closet, or if going inside of Janitor's Closet would have kind of just giving out his position completely. But it could have been a really nice little 1-for-1 trade and then deal with the Monty. But he tried to do that inside of the elevator, and it didn't really work out for Bryce, which is kind of unfortunate. But the rest of Team Aviate were just not staying alive. Bryce is just the only one that I have my eyes on right now.
Yeah, and Bryce has been just shining as his roaming potential. He did get a double kill last round.
Yep.
So that was crazy. He got the kill on the flank in the second round.
Yep.
And But at the same time, just the rest of Team Aviate not having an answer to Amnesty Gaming's playstyle. I know Royal on the Twitch, that F2 is just so overpowered, and the fact that he just instantly sprayed down the Castle Kale so early into the match, they had to use a stim pistol to get him up, but he still went down after that because they picked him up. So it's just, I don't know, Team Aviate, they have to start winning their gunfights over playing the right operators.
The Twitch is a really good pick for these bandit traps, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely right. There's the Team Aviate, they got to come together more as a team, and they're just not. For whatever reason, maybe their communication's off, maybe they're just a brand new team. Who knows what's going to be going on within this squad, but we will know here in round number 4, because 3-0 is usually when a team that is down will try and win the round no matter what. You kind of see as a 3-0 lead for the other team, and you'll say, you guys, we just got to go for this. We just got to try and act as aggressive, because if we don't, we're just going to end up losing. 4-0 does not look any better than where we currently are. So we'll see if we can do that.
If I'm Team Aviate right now, I'm looking for that 3-3 half. But at the same time, a 4-2 half wouldn't even be that bad.
way.
But the shots from the floor from Bryce, none other than Bryce on the Vigil. Going to be taking out known Titan Royale, refragging onto Scythe Monkeys. So that's an even player advantage for both teams. 4-on-4, even health on each player, and Kale sitting inside of Janitor Closet does spot out the Montaigne, but the ping on the Montaigne, I don't like when people ping out like Montaignes, because that just shows that they're going to be putting a lot of focus on that Montaigne. Yeah. Now we see the exothermic charge going to open up CEO office, and Tech is just going to back off and use the uses ACOG to get some sight lines down. Bomb is in hand of Montaigne, so I do expect the pressure to plant off now. Royal in perfect positioning to kind of help him with support out the window. Ziggy with more support sitting upside down, but I love this planting potential, and Tech just right behind him to frag out on that player that's putting too much focus on the Montaigne.
Yeah.
It's been happening game and round after round. Doc, I know, in a 3v4 with his teammates. Bryce getting shot from behind, but honestly, if I was Team Aviate, I would just focus on the next round, because the pressure that Amnesty is putting on right now is just, their positioning is really, really good. Technith going down to Merrick, so he's on the flank, but the Montaigne right now just playing so well, but Merrick making me eat my words, taking out Squad SWAT, the Montaigne going down, so 2v1. He does spot out the Twitch, but ultimately he's able to take himself out with a stim pistol, and the positioning of the Twitch on the windowsill, able to finish off with the kill in the final kill cam, as you see.
It's a totally different game once you've actually placed down the diffuser as the attacking team, because you've all got to get into your positions. The Monty was on the site just to stall the time. Didn't have to stay alive, just stall the time, stay on the site. If you die, it's fine. And just hope for the best, and that's exactly what ended up happening. It ended up falling. Twitch outside of the window is absolutely perfect. The one thing I saw there in that round is that Bryce completely ignored Ziggy. He was just hanging right on the Nomad Vigil, was like, I gotta get to the bomb site, gotta go. And it was just not the best option for himself.
After the diffuser went down, I didn't know what Team Aviate could do, because I was looking at all the different post-plant positions from Amnesty Gaming, and they couldn't have been more perfect. It was a 3v4, and I in my head I was already thinking that Aviate should look to the next round, because I didn't see any way that they could come back from that. I mean, the Montaigne did go down. Merrick did get a double kill onto Tech and Merrick, or no, Tech and Squad SWAT. So that was a little bit different, but Royale on the windowsill with the F2 is a power position in itself, and it's hard to get him off of that.
Exactly. And as we head into this next round, I usually like to look at these star players as just kind of players to look at, either in the next coming rounds as well as games in the future. Of course, we've been talking about Bryce this whole entire time. Of course, he's slipped up a lot as well. Over on Amnesty, though, I don't know, man. It's just all of these players look like they're just doing their job, you know? I've seen Zig a couple of times do work, and I think that's what you're going to say as well.
No, I was going to point at Royal.
Okay.
I saw on the leaderboard, he has about 8 kills to him right now. He's having quite the game. Yeah, look at him, 8-1. Yeah. Ziggy is 7-1 right behind him. So he's he's holding down the rotations, and he's killing out Team Aviate when they're rotating back to site. So he's doing such a good supportive role on the Nomad. Most of the time, he doesn't even have to push into the site. And he still has 7 kills.
It's crazy. And they really only picked the Twitch just for, you know, that scouting potential with her shock drone, as well as just to kill the bandit traps. And then you were talking about her gun just being the absolute best in the game as well. So it's kind of a no-brainer that she's getting so many kills. But also this player in general, Royal, just doing so much work over on his front. But they're just going to start the sweep from the top floor over into the basement. Once again, Aviate is going to try this basement hold. We'll see if they can end up doing this here. They're not going to take the dirt path like they did in round number 1. They're going to go for more of a round number 2 push like they ended up doing in round number 2. And just go for first floor into the basement.
Excellent analysis.
Thank you.
Right there. But Bryce opening up
go.
this round with a kill. It's traded out by Royal. Who else but Royal to trade that out? So he's up to 9 kills for himself. Bryce is that player to look at on Team Aviate. He has been shining for this team. 4-0 for Amnesty, and Team Aviate has to start now if they want to bring it back. A 4-2 half wouldn't be that bad. Merrick looking for some shots, does find the headshot onto Royal. It's a huge pick, but Scythe Monkey down on the point, going down to Known Titan. So we're back to a 3-3 even. But the health advantage is in favor of Team Aviate, and all 3 gas canisters are still in line for Ares. I don't know where he is, but they don't even have an idea of where this player is with the diffuser. But Merrick just dropping down, and Known Titan sitting in vault, getting an easy kill. And Smoke and Echo, the last 2 standing. He does get taken out by the player sitting inside garage. That's Tech, and he has perfect sight lines down into the rotations. Kale. There's nothing else he could have done. Just run into his death. Known Titan picking up the kill from Vault. 5-0 for Amnesty Gaming and Team Aviate. It's getting scary now.
It blew my mind because how is that so easy for Amnesty to walk onto the point and plant? I thought Monty was on the defense. I'm going to be honest, for like a split second. I know Monty's not a defensive operator, but I'm like, Monty's on the point. How?
In my opinion, I think Team Aviate needs to spread out a little bit more. They're just giving up too much because instantly Known Titan was inside vault without anybody knowing. He was inside vault. Merrick dropped down and got shot from vault. And they knew he was inside vault because Scythe Monkey went down there.
I don't know.
Totally blows my mind.
It blew my. I was watching that whole round like, what? But it's all good because Amnesty, they blow our minds sometimes, and that's what you got to do when you're in the Upsurge UPL league. So
they're really showing that they're a team to look out for.
Definitely. Aviate's also kind of making a little bit of an impact as well, just saying stuff. But it's all good. No flame. As we're heading into round number 6, we just get to see if Aviate end up somehow shaping up and coming back as. They've got the roaming Jaeger. We've seen that a couple of times before. Of course, the Vigil on Bryce isn't really... I don't want to say that's not working out, of course. Also, the Echo hasn't really stopped the plant just yet. It's been in use once, and it was before the rehost. I remember seeing that, at least. As well, the Legion traps, I haven't seen anyone, or at least anyone on our spectator feed ended up getting Legion trap just yet. Maybe he just ends up falling very early on as well. Blue Stare is just gonna get the full business.
Yeah, and they're heading right back into the CCTV room, locker room hold, and Royale first to entry into the server room, and it's uncontested. Not even a barricade on the doors. Just like that. Ares going down, getting flanked without him even knowing that they're there. Known Titan getting the second kill onto Scythe Monkey. Ziggy on the other side of the map picking up Merrick. So ultimately already 4v2 as Bryce brings it back and taking down Ziggy Ziggler up on the second floor. So all of a sudden it's Amnesty with control of the site, and Echo Kale has to work some magic here to bring it back. Bryce has been the fragger for Team Aviate. He has to help Kale to bring this back, and the diffuser going to be disrupted by the Echo, and a team kill coming out from Royal as well. A little bit of a question mark there, but now we see Bryce pushing the site, getting some damage down, but he's going to be dropped down to 10 health, getting super aggressive and getting nothing for it. As we see, Known Titan is low, but he's not low enough to be impactful. KO is putting shots through the wall, not connecting with anything. And the diffuser going to be dropped by Known Titan. So they planting, and I don't think they know that they're planting at all. Bryce trying to find a cheeky little angle. He's on 10 health in a 1v3 as Royal takes out Kale, so Bryce has to start moving. He starts moving now. They do know where he is because they haven't heard him move around. He hasn't made any sound cues that he's moving, so the post-plant positions are going to be locked in for Amnesty. He is spotted out, and just like that, round 6 going over to Amnesty, and it's going to be a 6-0 half. And they're going to be rotating over to the defensive side.
Can't remember the last time I saw a 6-0 half, but it was definitely a little bit of a mistake. Royal ended up shooting his own teammate. I think that was because the Echo drone was behind the Monty, or maybe it was just a little like tap on the back. Maybe just pat up the KD.
There's like not all bad things about Team Aviate. I know, like they're down 6-0, but their roaming presence is super good with Merrick and Bryce doing a lot for their team. It's just the players on site, the Aries, Scythe, and Kale. They're just a little. They're not supporting each other. Aries got flanked without them even knowing they're down there. They need it if they're gonna hold the locker room and CCTV room. They need to put a player on server because there's been a lot of aggression from Amnesty inside the tunnels to push that server room. And to have it uncontested like that is giving them a free kill to Aries on Aries.
Goyo could help with that, maybe.
It could.
It could. I don't know. I was just
it could help.
A little bit of an analyst shot is that Goyo I've been seeing a whole lot of in competitive for that reason alone. He's got the 3 barricades. He can block a lot of the entrances, just like the dirt pathway. You know,
and it causes them to give it a little bit more sound
noise.
cues.
There you go.
Makes a little bit more noise. So that is a good point to put down. But like you said before, it all starts with communication.
That's what I was thinking, is that you have one guy watching cams and you watch for the rush onto blue stairs. And that very easily could have been sought out after because there was a barricade that player on blue stairs was standing behind. He could have very easily hopped over that if he was given that communication that they were, hey, you're getting rushed from behind. But when you're getting rushed, sometimes you can't really react fast enough, and you don't really expect that in a game just like this one. But there's a major problem if you're allowed to rush into server room with no really anything.
And if I'm Amnesty Gaming right now, I feel untouchable. Yep. Starting all off the back of Royale. He has 11 kills to him right now, and he's just having a field day. So he's having quite the match right now on Bank, and they're showing they're so dominant. Amnesty just taking off with this. Kale going to be playing the Thermite. He's going to be looking for some shots to the wall. Merrick is droning out through the rotation of the balcony. And Bryce just watching for any rotations downstairs. But no sight lines right now onto anybody of Amnesty. Merrick really close to a Mozzie drone, so they do know that there's presence down there. And Merrick might find a one-on-one, but he doesn't catch that. He sees his toes. Oh, and he gets some damage down on to the player. That's Mozzie. Look at Mozzie and Legion. They're both down to about 25% health each. And I think Team Aviate on attack, they're looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah, definitely, as they end up getting picked off. A little bit of a Casa curse coming through. It happens from time to time, as now the frag going to get cooked up. Nobody is over that wall just yet, as Royal ends up getting the 2nd kill overall for Amnesty Gaming, as now it's a 5v3. Of course, there is 2 players that are very low. Legion basically on 1 HP, as Castle is now going to try and frag open that wall. There is a player that is knocked down, or at least I saw that was knocked down. Royal ended up getting a double kill for himself as well. Going to definitely be fragging out, even though he's not on the Twitch. We do see the Maverick looking in through here on the window. A couple of more shots going to be coming through, as now it's a 5v1, as Tech ends up getting a kill, and also another run out going to be coming through. Flawless round going to be coming through for Amnesty Gaming as well. The GGs all through in the chat. That's going to be it. Your arms are in complete confusion.
That just blew my mind. They had a downed player. They had map control. They had 2 players on less than 25% health for Amnesty Gaming. And it was just thrown away just like that. I know the Castle, known Titan, played that wall, played that spot to a T. He had the impact grenade cooked up just in case there were any hard breach gadgets on the wall, so he can throw the impact grenade and he can destroy it if any of the gadgets if they're on the wall. But honestly, Amnesty just they were shining. They looked like they are the team to beat in that game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the way that Aviate played allowed them to play like that. It looked like a lot of miscommunication, but honestly, in my eyes, that just looked flawless.
It was insane. Definitely, I agree with you that there was just so much that Amethyst was just so good at doing. That was the team name.
Amnesty. It's okay. No, it's totally okay. It happens. So game 1 of the UPL tonight going in favor of Amnesty Gaming 7-0. So Team Aviate for the second week in a row going down 0-7. So that's 0-14 for them in the standings. So not big not a big thing to look for. It's time for them to hit the practice again and to kind of work up a couple new strats. But on our side, before we start with the second match, which is going to be Upper90 against Team Mystic, we're going to head to a quick break. So everybody on the other side, just stay tuned for some more Upsurge action.
How'd you remember that name? That's crazy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 will be underway in a second. It's once again myself, Colin Seymour Moore, along with Daniel Saved One Man of the Kingsmen. And we're going to be casting Upper 90 against Team Mystic this time. How are you feeling, Daniel?
I'm feeling good after that last game. It was a very fast game.
Just brush off the shoulders a little bit.
You know, it was a little bit of a warm-up. I'm coming back from a cold, you know, a little bit of a flu. So it was a nice little game just to be like, all right, I'm getting the hang of this again.
Yeah, so this matchup, underdog or Upper 90 against Team Mystic, I kind of spoiled it a little bit. It's another underdog story because Team Mystic last in week 1, they also went 0-7, just like Team Aviate, and they were playing against I can't remember the team name, but and it was almost a mirror matchup because. Upper 90 went 7-5, just like Amnesty Gaming. Sorry, I had a brain fart. And
dude, I had one earlier.
We got a little bit of information that Team Mystic will be playing at the start a round down to Upper 90 because they had to make a quick roster swap and pull in an emergency player who wasn't on their roster. So it's just a little bit of a penalty coming out on their side, and they're going to be playing down 1-0. They won't be able to go kitchen site right away because of that. So it's the site that they kind of banned off.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna hop in and take a look at these maps. I know the map we're gonna be playing will be it's not these ones. The map we're gonna be playing is Villa. There it is. Just like that. It's gonna be Villa and instead of Bank.
Yeah. So kind of the same analysis. If you guys weren't here for game number 1, I did a very quick analysis of a couple of these maps, but Upper 90 Esports going to ban out Border, Bank, and Coastline. Of course, Border being that map that's kind of like that cheese map if you do want to pick it against your opponents. I guess you don't really see it in competitive a whole lot. However, we just saw Bank, and you see why that is such a good map, is because if you're on defense and you get a really nice lead, same thing with attack, you're going into that other side with a really nice solidification for yourself. Coastline, kind of like that same style of a map as well over on the other side. And Team Mystic, they've got 3 maps for themselves as well that they banned out: Clubhouse, Consulate, and Cafe. But the big decider map, the big map that we're going to be touching on here today is Villa. And this is kind of an interesting one because, you know, we kind of see this one.
I love Villa.
Yeah, me too.
I love Villa because it's not played a lot. And when you do see Villa played, it's like
awesome.
The strats that teams pull out, you know that they don't play it a lot because they're kind of crazy. They play it crazy, and it's a lot of roam presence.
Crazily.
Sorry, it's a lot of roam presence from the defending team because of how big it is.
Yeah.
And when we touch on the bans, which we're gonna be hopping into in just a second, Villa gonna be starting up game 2 underway. Upper 90 against Team Mystic.
Look at this cool little cinematic. Thank you so much, Upsurge, for providing this one, as we get to see a couple of the rooms over here on Villa. So if you don't know what Villa looks like from the outside, you definitely know what it looks like from the inside, as we have no idea what's going to be banned here because we don't know what the bans are. We're going to have to rehost here, I think.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I think something happened because look, Tachanka coming out.
All right.
Tachanka.
No way.
So no, it's gonna be just a tiny mistake coming out because Team Mystic has to start a match down. They just had a little bit of trouble putting together the match. Yeah. So they started a round down, but they because of that they missed the ban phase.
Yeah.
So I expect them to fix that a little bit. And I was gonna touch on the bans right away, but I'm gonna touch on them right now. They haven't done the bans, but I expect to see a Jackal get banned.
Yeah.
Especially because almost like Bank, there's a lot of roam presence. And as a defending team, whoever's starting on defense will want to get rid of that Jackal so that they kind of have a little bit more comfort when they're roaming around.
It also forces the roamer to watch where they actually end up roaming to.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, if you're playing, I don't know the sites too well on Villa because we haven't seen it a whole lot, but if you're on a basement hold on Villa and you're roaming up to the first floor, then you got to watch out for all those different little Jackal shenanigans.
Yeah, and
that they've got going on.
It's like another thing. Like if you're playing in the basement, you're an anchor, but you go up to put a hatch down, it leaves your footsteps available to be scanned by the Jackal still, so you'd be caught out even though you're on the site. And it's a lot of information that you just don't want to have on your side. So I expect to see Jackal get banned on attack, and because it's not too hard breach heavy of a map. There's not a lot of places to breach open for a hard breach. I don't expect to see a hard breach get banned. Instead, maybe some kind of support. I'm trying like the Thatcher. Maybe seeing a Thatcher get banned.
We've seen the Thatcher. We've seen, like you said, the Jackal could get banned. Of course, we've got a couple of defensive operators in the pool. But just like game number 1, we're gonna have to send it to a break really quickly as we figure out all of these technical difficulties. So don't go anywhere, Upsurge Nation, as we will be back in just a couple of minutes for R6 action.
Game 2, Upper 90 against Team Mystic. We're going to be starting off with Upper 90. Starting on defense, Team Mystic on the attack. It's going to be Villa. The ban phase has already went underway because we started a 1-0 start with Upper 90 leading Team Mystic. So that's going to be Thatcher, Hibana, Mira, and Maestro out of play.
Yeah, kind of some basic bans coming through. You definitely predicted the Thatcher for sure. Question marks still coming in the chat. Starting one down? Question mark.
I don't know if they were informed on what was going on. But we're gonna have our observers.
We got it. We're good.
Our observers gonna let them know that you get penalized when you do what you did. So,
yeah, when you have an emergency sub, you get penalized, but it's all good because we were slowly touching on those bans. Mira, nothing too fancy, of course. The Hibana, it's almost kind of like that second slot on attack is meant for a hard breacher.
Yeah.
Hibana just kind of ate the bullet here on this one as well. The Maestro getting banned out. Pretty basic here on Villa is that Maestro's pretty OP.
Yeah, you know you're gonna have the evil eye down, and you don't have you have more information with that evil eye on, and it has a diffusal disruption potential as well. So that's gonna be out of play. But I'm surprised that there's no Jackal. Surprised that you're gonna go for a Hibana instead of a Jackal. Yeah, Hibana can open up extra sight lines to certain sites. But instead it's going to be the Hibana over the Jackal, which I'm a little surprised for. And what are your thoughts on that one?
I was going to say, just to kind of support your point, is that once Jackal is picked, then I think you can say it. Yeah. Definitely. Right? Your analysis was great. I definitely agree with all of it. But once we see it, we can definitely be like, ha! We were right and you were wrong.
Yeah, so we don't see a Jackal get picked just yet. On the attack, we see Nomad, Ash, Thermite, Zofia, and IQ. And if we could, we missed a chance to introduce these two teams. So we'll do it. We'll do it next. We'll do it next.
Do it in a bit. We'll do it in the next pick phase.
We'll do it in the next pick phase. Sure. But I want to talk on El Sabah right here.
Yeah.
This is the sub, the emergency sub that caused Team Mystic to be down a player. So it's not totally his fault. It's whoever needed to be replaced. It's your fault that you're down the round.
We gotta watch this out just to see if El Sabah ends up performing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, maybe he won't. But another player that I'm looking at is this Ashe player, just because a lot of Ashes just love to go crazy, run around, go 3-speed all over the place, and hopefully go as the type of roamer. However, Hendrix is going to be roaming with his team. Well, it's not really roam if you're with the team, but they do realize that there is going to be a Jaeger ADS inside of the point itself. So they realize that that's there. However, they are kind of revealing themselves here just a little bit.
Yeah, and Woody's not using his IQ scanner to look for any gadgets right now. He's going to be playing really aggressive. Nasty going to be trying to take this fight. The player sitting behind there uses the Nomad, but burns part of the ADS. So the air jab going to be burned by the ADS. UMP of the castle going to be taking out Hendrix. So that is the Ashe out of play, being a little bit too aggressive, but refried by Woody's. Just like that, it's even 4-on-4. Health advantage to Upper 90. Kind of a little bit actually even as we look at, if I look at Woody and I look at the player, the Jaeger over on Upper 90, they're kind of even on the health. Nomad has been down a little bit, but Moose taking out Woody's. That's going to be the Goyo getting the kill on that one, sitting behind the shield, and he's going to rotate off of his shield point and move over to the bomb site. He's looking for some more players. Finds the Nomad, but not going to win the fight on that one. That's going to be Nasty. Refragging, not taking any damage from the Goyo, so it's going to be a 3-on-3 now for Team Mystic.
Yeah, it looks like Upper 90 is trying to play as defensive as possible. It's kind of weird that you ended up seeing, I think it was Hendrix, end up roaming onto that staircase there, try to be a little bit aggressive. It was the Goyo. Who roamed onto the stairs there?
It was Goyo.
Okay, yeah, it was just a little bit weird that he's on defense. He could have just stayed on the site, but he was roaming. And anyways, ended up seeing a nice little trade of kills there. It was kind of pixelated. You ask me, pixels is what we like to call it here on the cast, when you just see a little bit of an enemy player, but you see the Mozzie going absolutely crazy. The diffuser is going to be planting as well here on one of the sites. He's going to drop the diffuser as well. Mute ends up going crazy. Frenzy. Whoo. She goes a little bit nuts.
Yeah, and a little bit of I just had to give a little bit of a heart to the observer.
You scared
I got
the
crazy.
crap out of
that
me.
was insane. He stopped the diffuser and he pulled out the shotgun and he just drops the second player just like that. A 1v2 on the site for the mute. And a little thing that I was looking at that I want to touch on is that mute Mozzie duo is overpowered, and I like to see a team use it on defense like that. So I don't know, for anybody who doesn't know, is that Mozzie can collect drones with his pests, and the mute just disables any of the drones that go into the radius of his mute charge. So if you can disable the any drone and make it stop, put down the Mozzie pests, that's just a free drone for you.
Yeah, mute Mozzie is a really nice combo if you want to do that, but definitely, I think you literally just said that.
Yeah.
But there you go. I'm listening. But yeah, mute's still going to be played here in this round. Mozzie not going to be played.
No, we're going to have an Ella.
As well. Yeah, just the Ella. Sometimes the Ella mines come in handy just a little bit more. But other than that, just kind of standard all across the board. Echo is also usually banned out, but we're going to be seeing him played here. I want to see the Echo drone actually come into effect at any point. Haven't seen that just yet. At least in that last game that we ended up seeing, we didn't really see the Echo come into effect. But here in this one, Team Mystic obviously started a point down. We're not able to grab round number 2. Do you think their morale is down at all?
I was literally about to ask, why are they down a round? We've only played one round, but then I remember. I forgot myself. I was a little bit confused. I'm like, did I miss something? Did I blank on one of the rounds I casted? But no, they started a round down indeed. And if I was Team Mystic, I would not feel demoralized at all. That was super, super close. You brought it down to a 2v2. You're just clutched up by a player that was the mute on site. But now I'm a little skeptical about this Ella pick because I was talking to my the college team's analyst, and he was telling me that, like, I was asked him why Ella's not picked more because her gun doesn't have, like, her Scorpion doesn't have a lot of recoil anymore. But if you want to use the Grismont mines properly, you have to be really aggressive. So as soon as your Grismont mine goes on, you have to play aggressive into that because it doesn't last very long. So that's why you usually don't see Ella pick too much. The air jab, one air jab is going to be used for the flank on Nasty. And they're already taking site for Team Mystic. So a nice little spread set up like this. I already like seeing Woody pull out his IQ scanner and kind of scan for some stuff. He does spot a few gadgets, but not able to connect with them through the walls. And now it's going to be Team Mystic slowing it down and droning out a little bit.
Yeah, they're starting on the bottom floor here. Kind of making their way up, if I'm correct. Yeah, you can see a couple of members there on that first floor. A little bit more, I guess, unusual. Or yeah, unusual that you start on the bottom and then head up. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see if Team Mystic can actually make it work here. But the rest of Upper 90, they seem pretty good. They seem pretty chill. They're all holding certain angles here. Ella is that kind of roamer on the same floor as the rest of these players. Why'd you just kill the bunny? That's not nice.
They don't like to see it. It's distracting him. The cuteness is overloading his mind. So now we're gonna see Woody. He's gonna rotate around the stairs. He does spot out a camera. Is that a camera? I think that was a Grismont mine actually. I wasn't too sure on what it was, but if I was looking at the operators, I would guess that Grismont mine. He's gonna have an engagement right away. He does find the Ella, and the Ella was trying to play with his Grismont, but that was a nice refrag by Upper 90. Tillo finding Woody's, and I forgot to touch up, but we forgot to introduce these teams again. Moose finding a refrag onto Saba, but that's another player of Team Mystic going down. So advantage to Upper 90. We see Frenzy picking up a kill, continuing his terror from round 1. But Nasty
from the window,
taking out Tillo from the window, like you said. So Jaeger is out of play. It's a 3v2 in favor of Upper 90. You have the Echo still up, which is really helpful. Moose going to be doing a lot to kind of disrupt any defusal, but in order to defuse, Team Mystic has to rotate and pick up the diffuser because it is dropped on the other side of the map. And it's going to be Nasty, the closest one to the site. He only has 11 seconds left, so they have to start their push. They're being very, very loud. So Upper 90 is ready for this, and I think with 5 seconds left, we can call this Upper 90's round. Cray's going to find a kill onto Hendrix. Upper 90 finds round 3 with Moose getting the final kill onto Nasty. But it was a little bit of miscommunication from Team Mystic as they weren't really prepared for the defense of Upper 90.
When the bomb is down, or when the diffuser is down, you gotta just play for that. Play for around it. Play 4 around it. Yeah. Upper 90 did that absolutely perfectly, but But before we jump into this next round, we got to introduce these teams. Upper 90 Esports over on the blue side, Moose, Frenzy, Classy, as well as Tillo and Craze.
Yeah, you had Classy, right? I know you're a little bit.
almost
Is
said
that Classy?
classic.
But Team Mystic, Woody's, Hendrick, Derpy, Saba, and Nasty
There we go.
is going to be the last player, and they're looking to bring it back a little bit because they don't want to have a repeat of Week 1. They don't want to go down 7-0. We don't want a repeat of 2 7-0 matches in a row.
I love the switch of the Echo because, of course, Upper 90 has been winning all 2 kind of these rounds. They've got 3 points, but we all know why. But they won the last 2 rounds mainly because of not the Echo. They were just kind of that extra little added support. But I do like the extra add of 3 cameras over for your squad. It definitely helps out a whole lot when you're defending either the basement itself or the rest of the map. So we'll see where exactly this Valk ends up placing her little evil eyes. You can see one right underneath the little desk. I like how cheeky sometimes the black guys get with Valk.
Yeah, and I know there's a few maps that I love the Valk camp spots, but I haven't really been. I'm not too familiar with the ones like the main ones for Villa, but I'm excited to kind of study and see where they are on this map. Team Mystic starting their attack. They're going to be attacking from the east side, kind of northeastern side of the building, the corner, to be exact. And it's going to be Woody, the starting starter of the drone phase for Team Mystic. They get a little bit of information on the castle. They have found out where he is. But you were saying you really like the pick of Cade instead of the Echo. So do I. Yeah.
I was saying Valk.
Oh, Valk instead of the Echo.
Yeah, but Cade definitely could. You can expand on that.
Because it was Moose was playing the Echo last round.
Expand on that.
And instead of having a Cade instead of an Echo, especially holding some sites in the basement, just allows them to keep the drones away like more. You can maybe electrify some barbed wire, keep drones out, keep them more to the top. But Woody, what a shot onto Craze, getting the entry frag onto Upper 90. So advantage to Team Mystic right away. Derp is going to be getting the exothermic charge, as I thought, as Moose with the shotgun of Cade, going to be taking out Derpy, but Classy going to refrag, getting refragged by Nasty, so advantage
caught on the drone.
Evened out once again by Tillo, so 3-on-3 as Tillo gets a nice kill onto Nasty, and it's really back and forth right now. Not a lot. They have a lot of soft breach left on Mystic in the Buck and the Zofia. Make that just the Zofia as Tillo frags out onto Hendrix. 2v3 left, and Upper 90 just looking super comfortable. Woody's going to get the pick onto Tillo, and it's going to even it out to a 2v2. Woody's a little bit low, so health advantage is to Upper 90 right now. He's just getting a little bit of breach charge soft damage onto the floor so they can look from the top-down view. They still have the Zofia, 2 impact grenades on the lifeline left, so they can do a little bit more damage onto the floors, get some more information. I really like the time they're taking. They have a minute left, and they're focusing on this top down as long as the IQ is up there looking for the top down. But Zofia, the Saba, is going to be starting to push down black stairs, getting some information. Does find the castle, so using the soft barricade, or using the soft breach of the lifeline to get that, takes damage from behind. So both of them about even on health, Woody and Saba. They do open up the castle barricade. Woody is going to rotate, and they're just slowing down right now.
Exactly. We got 30 seconds left here on the clock. Of course, the diffuser had to be picked up, and they definitely did that successfully with a couple of breach charges into the floor to try and get any sort of picks. IQ is on the site right now, has no idea that he was behind him. What? Just kind of sneaked by. Woody ended up grabbing a kill. That was nuts. Even though the smoke ended up going off, didn't even matter. They were just complete on synergy there. Team Mystic finally picking up their first round there.
That was a nice little clutch by the 2 players of Team Mystic as well. So looking at this leaderboard, Woody's leading the charge for Team Mystic and a nice 5-2. Saba 2-2. He is the replacement in this round. But Nasty's 3-3, and Hendrix and Derpy sitting at 0-0. So a little bit of a slow start for the 2 of them, but nice little 4-4 in the top 2 on Upper 90. 2 kills for Craze. Frenzy sitting with 3. Classy with 0 kills, but 2 assists. So, you know, assists, they help out just as much as kills do.
Exactly, right? You got to look at who your supportive characters are. Players. teammates, whatever you want to refer to them as. I guess it's kind of good if you can realize that you're more of a supportive type of player, or if you're more of a fragger, and you can definitely see that on both of these squads. Usually it's around this time when the enemy team has gone up by 3 points, when it's gone up by 2 points, that the opposing squad will gain a little bit more of a morale boost. I don't know why it is in R6, but it definitely happens. And now you're starting to see Mystic come up, right, in their own way. And they ended up grabbing a really nice round there. They played it slowly as well. I feel like in these past rounds, they've definitely taken it very, very fast. But they just did it very slow. You take the first floor, end up just waiting a little bit till 30 seconds, a couple of breach charges, get into the basement, and just plant the diffuser. That's
A little
it.
bit there, and
A little bit of that.
and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and you'll get it going real well. But already a more exciting game than game one. A little bit here as we see Team Mystic finding their first round. They're down by 2 now, instead of being down by 3. So it's 3-1 right now. Upper90 in the advantage, but it's a whole new round. Round 5 underway. Attack phase is going. We're going to see them just start the drone phase once again. Woody's finding a Veld Cam, taking it out, looking for more gadgets, but not connecting with anything. Does take some shots at him, but no damage yet. And Hendrix doing a nice little soft breach into the bathrooms, finding some more information himself. Does spot the drone of his own teammate pass by there. And Woody's, that's going to be Woody's getting some information for himself. Does spot out the Valkyrie, so nice information for himself. He's going to be pushing in now, looking for this kill. There's a player right there, but he gets downed instead. Peeker's advantage not coming out, but it's 2 kills going in favor of Upper90 as Craze knocked down to about, I'd say about 5 health left on himself, and 2 players down for Mystic.
Definitely very, very fast going into this round number 5. Within the first minute of the round, Hendrix ends up picking up his own kill for his benefit. A little bit more aggressive coming through his Team Mystic. Sometimes it works out for them, sometimes it definitely doesn't. Over here, you see he's going to be cooking up this grenade. Does not really do, maybe it does, maybe, I don't know. It didn't really do too much damage, but we see a couple of blinking health bars over here on both sides of this squad. We do see Buck now looking for something classy, ends up grabbing a kill for himself. You see Buck not seeing that player over to the right-hand side. Thermite may have saw him if they do have communication, and they do not, as Buck ends up going down 3 versus 1. What can Thermite do?
Well, it's going to be Derpy, the last player standing. He has less than 25% health left. All players on Upper90 with full health. You have all 3 gas canisters left for that player on Upper90. The smoke is just set to go, but he's going to open up the wall, kind of does a little bit of distraction. He's going to make that set off so his footsteps are hidden, but shots come out from Frenzy through the door. It doesn't even matter the distraction came out. Upper90 taking their 4th round in this game, and just like that, it was a little bit disrupted from Team Mystic, as I know Woody's pushed in and got a lot of damage down onto Craze, but the fact that Craze came out with 2 kills, especially getting his 2nd kill when he had about 5 health left, was just absolutely nuts on his part. But Goyo going to be coming out for Moose this time.
Just kidding.
No. Echo's going to be coming out from Moose instead, so he's going to revert back to that pick he had in around the third round. And well, you wanted me to be wrong again.
No, I want a 6-pack.
They don't. It's like they don't want me to be right.
Goyo going to be coming out. Echo going to be coming. Goyo going to get 6-pack. No, I love the sound cues there in that last little bit. That was really cool. Just to see the just the 180 into the barricade shots.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's the advantage of having headphones.
It was really cool to see, because I thought that Derp putting down the breach charge onto the floor and making it set off, I thought it was gonna hide his footsteps when he hit the ground.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It was just like a second off or a millisecond off. So they did hear him drop from the top floor, and Frenzy coming out with the kill. So they're up by 3 now. Upper90 Esports with the advantage still. And they're starting to get comfortable on defenses. We're in the last round of this half, and after this round, we'll see the switch come out for both teams. It'll be Team Mystic on defense and Upper90 on attack. So if I was Team Mystic, I'd be looking for that 4-2 half.
Of course, I was just gonna say is that if you're going into your attacking phase 5-1. you've got massive smiles on your face if you're Upper90 Esports. If you're Team Mystic, it's definitely not what you want to see, but of course, Team Mystic, they're trying to keep their morales high because they ended up winning that one round. It was really good round win for themselves. You saw something, I didn't see it. What'd you see?
He was so close to shooting that player behind the barricade, but he's just missing a tiny bit. But now we're hopping on board with the attack phase. It's Hendrix going to be working alongside Woody and Saba to push through. That's the IQ, Zofia, and Buck. A lot of soft breach help in the IQ, able to spot out gadgets. So that's good.
Yeah.
Here, Nomad going to be using one of her air jabs, and it's so close to seeing the head of that character through the wall. I don't think
He's behind another wall.
he's behind another wall. Yeah. So we were a little bit tricked there. Tillo going to be opening up with the first frag of this round onto Hendrix. He's going to be sitting behind that Goyo barricade, and he's going to be watching for these players pushing through. That's the Buck down too. So the soft breach of Buck going to be taken out fast, and that's a big pick if you're Upper90.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Buck adds so much for attack, especially on a map like Villa, where there's just so much soft breach through the floors and all of those fun things. Tillo is going absolutely crazy here as he ends up getting a kill for himself, but he kind of kills himself, so it's not really the best scenario for you to be in, as Woody's ends up grabbing another kill here in the round. Now it's going to be a 3-3.
If you're not too familiar with Goyo's barricades, if you're on the attacker and you see a Goyo barricade and you throw a nade or you destroy the Goyo barricade, it sets flames to the ground.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a disadvantage if you're going to be holding an angle with that Goyo barricade. We see a couple kills going back and forth on both teams. We see Frenzy and Frenzy and Classy getting 2 kills of their own. Upper90, just like that, cleaning up the round and taking a 5-1 victory into this next one. But
huge.
Nice plays for Upper90, and their defense just looks perfect right now.
Team Mystic, when they're in a situation where they don't have 4 or 5 members, they kind of choke a little bit, and that argument could be immediately shut down by the round that they ended up winning. But maybe that was just kind of an off round for Upper90. It was them on their down foot, as we've been seeing constantly. Whenever they get picked off very early on, whenever one of their main carries ends up getting picked early on, or main operators even, just everything just kind of starts to crumble, and you saw that there in that last round in particular. But now, since Team Mystic is on the defense, maybe they could come back somehow. They're trying to draft a little bit better of a comp. They've got the Echo, of course. Maybe they can use the smoke a little bit more effectively. I believe only Upper90 used it 1 round, but that was about it. Smoke going to be coming through here for Team Mystic. Maybe they can use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and after seeing the defensive hold of Upper90 and the frag power that Team Mystic had on the attack, it wasn't like it was just a clear set 5 rounds for Upper90. They fought for those ones, and it was a lot of close rounds that could have gone Team Mystic's way. So they did come out with 1. They didn't stick with 0, so they had something to work with. And if you're Team Mystic fan out there, just prop them rally caps on, and it's time for a comeback. It's time to climb that mountain that they have to on defense and show their worth. It's if they make that comeback, they go 7-5. You don't have to worry about overtime. But right now, if you're Team Mystic, just aim to bring it back a little bit.
When your morale is down at the start of the game because you're a round down, it can get to you. Maybe that's what we're seeing out of Team Mystic. Maybe this is just the team as a whole. Not too sure. However, like you said, there's still the potential of a comeback because we've seen a skeleton of a really, really good team. Maybe they just, all of the light bulbs turn on here for defense, and we'll see that effect go through as all of the drones have been set as well. IQ is now here on the first floor itself. Maverick now needs to get onto the first floor as well. He's trying to find his little corridor. Craze going to get the first frag of the whole entire round itself. Going to grab a double kill for himself. Check the correct angles. Definitely really good if you can grab that headshot. Definitely did so as well. Going to check over by these red stairs. Zofia looking over here as well.
And it's crazy to see Upper90 so comfortable on this map. They wanted to play Villa. They wanted this. So you can see that they were ready. Maybe it's Team Mystic having that emergency pick on their team, kind of bringing them down a little bit, maybe a little bit, not enough practice with each other. It's just a little bit of a less communication on their side, but we see Craze still looking for this. He still has ace potential as he opened up with the double kill, so he could be pushing in and getting a little bit aggressive, looking for more. He's going to be droned in by his teammate. They're getting a little bit of information. Classy going to be picking up Nasty, so that's ace out of the picture for Craze if you're looking for that. But Al Saba now, he's going to be just sitting behind the barricade along with Derpy, the last two players for Team Mystic in this round. Derpy's going to be sitting on the A bomb site behind the bar. El Saba getting the kill onto Craze, shutting him down. He uses one gas canister to just slow them down just in case somebody was going to push through that. So a little bit of heads up play to keep the pressure off of him. But now it's Derpy going to get a little bit too aggressive, taken out by Frenzy, all down to Saba. And Upper90 going to take their 6th round, up 6-1 now. They're completing round 7.
Definitely huge for this squad. And Upper90, they do the exact same strat. No matter what floor this bomb is on, is they just try and grab one pick and they just try and snowball from there. And so far, it's definitely been working. As now we look at these leaderboards, looks crazy over on Upper90. They all have kills for themselves. 7-6, 7-4, and 4 for respective top to bot.
But even looking at Team Mystic, 6-3, 1-3,
Yeah.
2, it's only the only thing lacking is their assist counters. You know, they have 1 assist on 3 players, and it's a little bit. You can see that they're playing a part.
Yeah.
They're not finishing up on the damage that they do. They're not refragging anything. And Classy just having fun with that 6 pick, and he's just going to be going back and forth. Woody's going to be picking the Ella instead of the Valkyrie, and IQ going to be picked instead of the Montaigne. So Team Mystic looking to bring it back. They're looking for overtime now as the comeback win is out of the situation unless they run through that overtime.
So many possibilities could happen here. Upper90 could just close it out. That's it. We're going home. Pack your bags. Or Team Mystic, they keep their fans in for just a little bit more. We could see if either could happen. Maybe this Ella pick is just the do or die pick. The smoke was played okay, right? Ended up getting 1 kill there in that last round. Really nice knock, but not the absolute best stalling potential, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Ella doesn't.
Yeah, you know, it's like you're saying, it's how you play the Ella. If you're playing a really aggressive angle on your Charismods, you can find some picks. So I really expect Woody's to play around wherever he puts the Charismods down. And if you hear the Charismod go off, you peek. But it's up to the IQ, Classy, to scout out and find those mines.
Gotta watch out for this. All these possibilities, of course, once again. But we gotta take it one step at a time, as these 2 cameras just gonna be shot just like that at the start of the round. Because someone could have been watching those cameras. I know that's a very common strat where one of the defensemen just end up going on to cams just to see where exactly these guys are all entering from. Not going to spot that information just yet, as it's very relaxing, actually, just for the first minute.
Yeah, and I touched on Team Mystic.
Yeah.
They have to look for overtime right now, but touching on Upper90, they're on map point.
Yeah.
So it's map point right now for Upper90.
I was saying that.
And we can, and 2 minutes left into this round, so they're looking to close it out right here, but Team Mystic looking to bring it back, and they really have to play together. They got to get the communication underway. You see a lot of them working around each other. And now, first pick, just like last time, going to Craze. He's going to find Derpy. He's totally ready for that angle to behold. Second, going to Tillo as he finds a nice kill, taking out Saba. He's looking for the third. Transitions over to find that character behind the barricade, but not connecting with any damage. It's going to be Moose looking to drop down Woody to about half health. Hendricks going to be fragging over to Tillo, but Nasty picked up by Craze. Craze with a double kill now, and it's Woody now being a little bit aggressive. He's taken down to about 5, maybe 10 health, as he has to back on off. Craze with a triple kill now, and the Maverick going to be opening up the hard breach, and Upper90, bada bing, bada boom, taking game like it was nothing. 7-1 win for Upper90.
Definitely really good at the end of that one. Upper90 Esports end up taking this whole entire game, like he beautifully said. 7-1 is that ending score. GG's coming through in the chat. Really nice to see that no one's salty. Of course, Craze going to be the MVP here of the round. Score 48-48. A little bit of consistency coming out there. Definitely really good as well. 10-4 at the end of that game. Amazing.
He had a triple kill in that last round and a double kill in the round before. So both times on attack, Craze just looked so comfortable. The entry frags that he had in that round were so crucial for Upper90 to take them. And they looked like a pinpoint team as well, continuing their dominance in week 2, just like Amnesty Gaming did to Team Aviate. So on the day today, we had a 7-0 win for Amnesty Gaming, and this game 2 was a 7-1 win for Upper90 Esports. And if you have anything to touch on for that game 2?
It was just it was a little bit closer, of course, because there was that one victory that went over to to the other
Pixels,
team,
man.
but
Pixels, man.
Oh, this is great.
But no,
Sure.
It was a great game for the teams that won. I'm sure that they're behind there celebrating. They're looking for week 3 to continue their dominance as their respective teams. But those the two teams, it was Team Aviate and Team Mystic, looking to maybe go back, practice a little bit more. I know Team Mystic had an emergency sub in, so a little bit of communication that they might not have been ready for, a little bit of practice that they might have been lacking with their sub. But on the side of us, it's been a pleasure casting for the Upsurge Premier League today. It's been myself, Colin Seymour, and my co-caster Daniel the Saved One Mena, the Kingsman, respectively. So we'll see you next Sunday for some more Upsurge Premier League action, everyone. Thank you.